Welcome to the Best Hour of Their Day podcast with your host, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
As both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
Welcome back, Best Hour of Their Day. Your hosts, Jason Ackerman, Jason Fernandez, Katie Springstein. We are all here chatting today about how dumb box owners are. And when I say that out of love, Fern, because I'm a box owner. You know that. And I'd be calling myself dumb. But certainly if you go back and listen to the episode with Kevin Houston last week, you will realize exactly how dumb I was. But I feel 15 years later, so many box owners are not learning from the mistakes of the past. There's an expression about it, Fern. Don't quote me on it, but those that fail history are gonna repeat it. Is that it? Was that it?
Short answer is no. But I believe what you were searching for was something with regard to paying attention.
What do you mean by that? They're not paying attention to me? I know the point is they're not seeing the mistakes of their predecessors.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's not the exact quote. It's because like those who fail to either learn or recognize history are doomed to repeat it.
That's why we got him, Katie. If only to recite old quotes, because he's great at that. But here's the thing. We've talked about it with one of our calls earlier, and that's box owners are a unique brand, a unique organism, animal, if you will, in the sense that when things are going good, they think to themselves, hey, how can I really fuck this up now? And there's no other place in life where you're like, hey, things are great, my marriage is great, or I'm having a great time today, let's mess it up. But box owners are like, let's screw this good thing up. And part of the thing they do, as you heard in that interview with Kevin, that I used to do is like, well, let's change it. Let's make some changes because members love change. And newsflash, spoiler alert, your members like consistency. So if you're going to make changes, be transparent about that. Don't hide them in the weeds and then just expect them to be cool about it. And something Chuck says at the culmination of every level 1 and level 2 seminar that I've worked with him, and by Chuck, let me be more clear, Chuck Carswell says is, you just drank from a fire hose this weekend. Don't go back and change everything. Like, sure, move the rowers. Start there. Let's not move the rowers, change the programming, change the class times, cap class sizes, and all that stuff on day 1. So the quote that we were going off today, Fern, I'll let you say it. What was it?
Which one? The one that I just recited?
I set you up for this freaking quote. You blew it.
No, you
blew it. Katie, you knew what I was going with, right? Katie, take the lead. Take over, Katie.
It's
read the freaking quote that we had pulled up for the name of the podcast.
Directly from the book of First.
Is it my quote or is it the
both
quote
of you just get off and let me continue this episode today without either of you. I'm the only one capable of running this show. Here's the thing. I was really sick for the recent episode. And now that I feel, first of all, Katie's dying. She went to Disney World. It's basically the epicenter for the Omicron virus. And
it's a Marion virus.
She got it from Mickey or whatever. She's at Epcot drinking around the world, whatever the Springsteins do. Did you drink around the world?
Some choose to. And it was with the galleys, actually, not the Steins.
You don't drink a whole lot, do you? I've never seen you like officially white girl wasted. Do you get white girl wasted?
I don't know what.
You know what?
No.
You're coming to Boulder though. You're gonna get Boulder wasted. Are you down for that? You down for a little party with the Fern?
It's a different kind of wasted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sign on for that. I don't know what that entails, so I'll wait and see what that means.
Good for you. Well, good for you, Katie. Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you want to read the quote now, or do you want to keep derailing the podcast? Fern, do you want to read your quote?
I had a lot of quotes. I don't remember which one it
It
was.
starts with
give me.
small changes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. So
Fern,
we
welcome to
were
the show,
on.
Fern. Welcome to
We
the show.
were listen. We talked about those who fail to recognize history. We talked about the plane. We talked about a lot of things. Like again, I say a lot of things, most of which I don't remember because they're nonsense. But we were talking about somebody was it was one of our people in Affiliate U was asking about. He's like, "Hey, I'm full of good ideas and I don't know what to do."
Yeah.
And he was struggling with like how do I manage all of this, right? And I am no stranger to good ideas. I'm also no stranger to screwing things up. And my response was, we don't need to make big changes, and small changes done over time consistently yield massive results.
There's the quote. There's the quote, everybody we were waiting for.
Right.
So what's it again? Repeat it, please.
Had to build it up because you didn't really lay it out. But
you did. You built it.
Context matters too. But the point is I have learned my lessons the hard way, which is most of us in the CrossFit box space do not need to make these big sweeping changes. I mean, you think about the number of gyms we worked with, Jay. The vast majority of things that we change are not dramatic in nature. They do have dramatic impact on the box long term. And the failure to recognize that, or the failure to be able the vision to see this incremental change compounding over the next 12 to 24 months is massive in nature, whether it's retention, whether it's revenue, whether it's owner pay, whether it's bringing on a new time coach. It's not this big thing that I throw on top of the business. They're fine tunes to the dial in the business to get it back on course. You know, very few gyms that we work with are, 90 degrees off course. Most of them are 5 to 10. But again, if you've ever been on a boat or anything like that, 5 degrees off course for a long duration will put you on the wrong side of the world after a while. And that's something to recognize.
Write that one down. What was it? Write that down.
Do you always ask me to repeat these? Are you not listening? Actually, I know the answer to that. You're never listening, so it doesn't matter.
I'm listening. I want to hear it again. That's how good it was. Like, you're so unaccustomed to people valuing what you say that when someone does, you're like, you're taken aback. Like, I'm valuing you right now. Look at this bobblehead.
I recognize you.
And by the way, Fern, I'm upset that you didn't laugh at my jokes on my Instagram story about my bobblehead. Did you see them?
Those were jokes? I
can tag you in a picture.
Jokes are supposed to be funny. That's why I didn't understand that it was a joke.
I can tag you in literally a picture of my poop.
My fault.
And tag you, and you'll share it. Yet those jokes you did not share.
Well, poop is funny. There you go.
Poop is
your
funny.
Jokes are not.
Poop is funny. That's why we get along. Poop is
Fair
funny.
Enough. So,
should I tell my TMI story from the team meeting?
No, please don't. Yeah,
that was poop. Poop is not funny. Poop is not funny. Then
it's a good parenting story, though. No, but the whole purpose of this is, myself included. I've been victim to this many times. But when we're working with affiliates, everybody's looking for the golden change. Like, I got to change this, and this is going to change everything in the business. And it goes back to, again, like, we're not going to change our message. Like, it's not going to happen. The message is the message, which is you need to do the simple things better. And I don't know how many times we're going to have to smack people in the face with this idea, but I'm just going to continue to say it until people get on board, because you don't need to change a bunch of stuff within your business. There's a handful of things that you do in a mediocre fashion that if you just did them really, really, really well, would solve most of the problems that you have going on in your facility. Right. So a sales process, that's one, right? They're like, I got to do all these things. I'm like, no, you have zero sales process. And the one that you have is really, really bad. Let's just fix that. And then we'll talk about what else we got going on. The small changes, like the thinking about the order in which I say something in a sales consult, or how I give feedback to a coach on the floor, or how many classes I do or don't coach as an affiliate owner,
or the layout of the gym,
or the layout of the gym, or the number of events that I put on my calendar for the year. It's not from 0 to 12. It might be 1. I literally, in the retreat, we had our annual retreat this weekend, and we were going over the calendar. We like nailed everything down, dates for everything. I mean, the calendar for 22 is finalized, it's done in its entirety. And at one point, we were talking about putting on a workshop, and I turned around to Cassidy and I said, let's do one workshop. Because every year we have like a handful of ideas that we put on there that we full swing and miss on. Like, don't even, like, it's just like you were swinging a baseball bat with your eyes closed. And I said, 1. And he was like, I like where your head's at. And I was like, right, I've learned my lesson. We're just like, we have this series of things and we're going to put them all together, and then none of the shit happens. And I'm like, 1. I want to do 1 workshop, and I want it to be kick ass. Where are we going to put it on the calendar? How are we going to design all of those things? That is how you fix things. Not trying to do a bunch of different stuff, or trying to make this massive change and revamp the entirety of like the brand and all of that other stuff. Like that will yield a shit show. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, I agree. I think, big picture is box owners need to simply sometimes just chill. Like, you've created something, it's okay. I think so many box owners just chase the shiny keys, the squirrel, if you will. And it's like, haven't you learned from either mistakes that you've made in the past or mistakes of other box owners? Like, putting on skills classes don't always work. That doesn't mean that it won't work for you, but just because a coach says, hey, I want to run a skills class on Thursday night, doesn't mean you should say yes. Certainly doesn't mean you should send an email out to every member of your box that we're going to do this. Hey, where else would you do that in life? Like, not test the water, not make sure this coach is going to show up on time, prepared, make sure the class has a good experience. You do a ROMWAD in the corner one day and 3 people join you. All of a sudden you got a ROMWAD class going on, because everybody wants it. It's like, or they can pay the $14.99 and sign up themselves and do it at home. Focus on the main thing. The main thing needs to be the main thing. And too many box owners try to scramble. And it's like, I believe, Fern, a lot of that is like, you're not confident in the value you're providing for your membership. If you're charging $185, you don't need to add a billion other things to prove that value. The value is, hey, if you show up to classes 3-5 times a week and listen to the coaches, you're going to get fitter and healthier. That's the freaking value. And if you're not confident in that, that's on you. But you don't have to pack it with a billion other things that actually distract from that value. These not like, just because a company that you're using for programming is throwing out a challenge, a 40-day challenge, does it matter to you if your fucking members clean their kitchen at the end of the day? No, it's insignificant. It doesn't matter. It's one less thing or one more thing they have to concern themselves with. Your members have enough going on in their lives. Training should be the easiest part of their day. Show up here. By the way, you want to go heavy? Go fucking heavy. You want to go light? Guess what? Go fucking light. You want to change the movement? Change the fucking movement. I don't care. We're glad you're here. Fucking workout. Hey, by the way, eat meats, vegetables, nuts, seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, and you're going to be successful here. You don't need a billion other things happening to do that. You're only distracting from the main thing. Sorry.
Are you out of breath?
I'm a little out of breath.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. I just had to turn my heater off. Sweating down here.
I don't disagree with you. And again, we can take everything back to training. It's not like you need to be on a special program. You need to show up consistently. You need to make sure that you move well. You need to make sure that you understand intensity. You need to make sure that you listen to your body and recover. Another example for box owners would be this idea, because this got brought up in one of the calls too, was just the idea of a software stack. So they're just like, hey, I need new members. So most gyms overpay for their software stack. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about when I say software stack, I mean any software that you pay money for or that you use to integrate with how you communicate or run your gym. So an example of a software stack would be, I'm going to make most of these up. So let's just say that you use Zen Planner, and then I have a Gym Lead Machine, which is a CRM, and then I've got a texting platform, or maybe I've got UpLaunch, and then I've got MailChimp or Constant Contact, and then I've got, I don't know, something else in there. Like throw something else in there. But at the end of the day, you could end up paying well over.
In there.
Sure, right. I've got all these things. At the end of the day, I could be paying well over. I got my website, right? Whatever I'm paying for that falls in the software stack as well. You could be paying well over $1,000 for a software stack and not know how to use any of it. Right? It's because somebody told you that you needed all these tools, and the issue was you decided to throw all these on there, not knowing how to use any of them. And then one of our other clients had a good. His background is in project management and development stuff, and we were talking about automation. He was like, "Listen," he's like, using automation and not knowing how to use it just makes you bad fast. He just makes you. It makes the problem. It makes you do something terribly really quickly.
Shout out to Buddy from Affiliate.
Shout out to Buddy, right? And it's the same thing here, which is instead of thinking about like, oh, I'm going to get UpLaunch, I'm going to get these other things, and I'm going to do all of this, and I'm like, well, I don't really know. Should I get like a gym phone and all these other things? I'm like, you should just text the person. They're like, with my own phone? I'm like, yes, with your own fucking phone. Like, it's not like you have 500 clients,
dude. Giving your phone number out, like. I heard that this is years ago. They're like, if you're on Twitter or Instagram, like everybody has your fucking number. It's just where it's going through. So who the fuck cares? Give out your phone number.
Right.
I give out my phone number right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, it's 225. 225.
That's the combination of your luggage. Yeah. No. 8675309. No, but the point is, it's like simplify and do those things really well. And I've had this conversation with gym owner after gym owner after gym owner, which is I don't want to hear about the fancy Whammadine system that you have. If you can't,
Whammadine?
Yeah, that means super special.
Is that a word? Can you look that up?
Now.
I feel like he made that word up.
Yep.
That's a fake word.
If you can't do the basics really well, right? So it's not like, hey, get this new software system. What it is call that person back sooner. And you know what? I don't care. You could go walk it to a fucking payphone. I don't care. Just call them back in a reasonable time frame. That's the small change over time.
Yeah, you call somebody back this day and age, you're 99% better than the box down the road.
CrossFit boxes are absolutely atrocious. As a generality, some gyms are crushing it, right? And for you guys, high five virtually. Best hour CrossFit. Yeah, if you go to the website, it's probably broken. For those of you that are
put on a few pounds, you don't need to,
For those of you that are doing it well done. But that would be something where that would be a small incremental change done consistently over time that would go from -5 clients this year to +24 next year.
What do you actually say about that? You actually say, Fern, not to automate that. That's like the one thing.
There is a place when you can automate that interaction, but this goes back to unconscious competence.
You're not there yet. That's what Fern's gonna say.
Listen, if you're listening, you ain't there, bro. Like or gal, like you're not there. That when you can do that is when you have done this successfully hundreds, if not thousands of times, and you know exactly how this works. There's a time and a place for it. And the time and a place is when the volume is fairly high. If you're not keeping track of it with some sort of automation where like people will fall through the cracks and it becomes a problem. If you are a box that have 10 or less leads a month, you need exactly 0 automation.
That'd be like automating date night with your wife. Like,
right.
Hey, how about you just show up, dude? By the way,
you just show up and do it.
Do I have to, when you say bro, do you have to now, like in this PCA day and age, like say, because I do it as well, like, hey guys and gals, like, can we just agree, like, that still lumps in everybody? Or is that not
somebody's offended? Somebody's offended.
Is that offensive to say bro these days?
Probably.
Katie, are you offended? Katie's not a help here because she's like having
Katie's
another dude on the show.
I don't think she's offended. She's definitely not impressed with anything we've said this far.
She's disappointed in us all the time.
Well, I was looking up Whamadine.
Oh, that's a word? Oh, look
Extra
at this Urban
spectacular
Dictionary.
whiz bang Whamadine. How about that?
Wait.
Super duper.
I don't even remember at this
Super
point.
duper.
First of all, look at the ads popping up.
I know,
You get
Beam.
Beam ads.
I've been
Shout
looking
out
at
to Beam. Use my code Ackerman15. Get 15% up. I love. This was not a placed ad, but I love Beam. Like Roz and I have Beam every night.
Oh, Beam.
It's great. I just got it for the first time when we were in Austin. Anasan gave me a sample of it. We use it every single night. But you said Ramadine.
No, I said Whamadine.
I thought it was Whamadine.
Yeah, Whamadine.
But he
didn't
said it
say
with an
Ram.
R. Ram. He
No,
said
no.
Ramadine.
No,
So wait, this is a word? Wham-odine. Super
Yeah, dude.
duper. Wait, so can you use it in a sentence?
I already did.
But I was so perplexed by the word, I didn't even hear the sentence.
Well,
use it again.
you're-
Use it about
you're-
me, and I'll
listen,
listen.
This is what happens when you're
about
regularly
me.
interacting with somebody who has far superior intelligence to you, where you're just like, I can't keep up with what you're saying.
By the way, peek behind the curtain. I won't even say it. Forget
Please
it.
don't.
Now I was going to say something that I shouldn't. But it had to do with the time you had to take over the podcast episode. Remember that?
Yeah, most times. What podcast have I not had to take over? And
Most
take over?
Whamadine. Wait, I want to be able to use this word. I want to impress Roz later. Help me use it. Whamadine. Hey, babe, I know that sex we just had was not Whamadine, but in the future,
you could replace it.
can.
Hey, babe, that sex we just had was not super duper. So I apologize.
it was not Whamadine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry yet again for the sex.
Yep.
I appreciate you letting me do it, though.
You know things are not going well when you're apologizing for the sex with your spouse. Yeah. So
I just give her. I have a stack. Like you have a stack.
at this point, I feel the need to apologize for Roz, even though this is not my fault. But I'm just like, Roz, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You keep a stack of Starbucks cards to give to your members, like when they've done something well. I just keep sorry cards in my nightstand. It's like here's a sorry card for that.
Yeah.
Here's a sorry. Here's $5 to Starbucks, by the way. Go enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Whamadine.
So you and actually this fits in perfectly. You don't need the Whamadine stuff. Insert whatever topic it is that you're discussing at your gym, whether it's like the Whamadine events or the Whamadine software, or the Whamadine programming, like whatever. Now this podcast is named "You Don't Need Whamadine," and people are like, "What the fuck?"
The Whamadine hour of your day.
Yeah. The point is, time and time again, and I've learned. I guess I continue to learn this lesson over and over and over, and it is probably if you were to encapsulate most of what we teach affiliates or CrossFit trainers in general, make small incremental changes over time and stack those on top of each other, and that's how you get better at anything. Forget CrossFit or business ownership or that's just how you get better, how you get good at anything.
1%. Throw on a little motivational video, Ben Lionel Scott, like Fern. By the way, I didn't tell you this, Katie. I text Fern. I was in the ice tub. This is like a week or two ago after we got back from Virginia Beach. I had the Ben Lionel Scott, whatever the most recent one up there. I was listening. I was getting fired up in the ice tub. It's like 9:00 at night. By the way, I realized why I'm so sweaty and hyped up, because when I was sick this weekend, I didn't have any coffee. And I've had so 3 days off of coffee. Like your body's like, I'm like, the caffeine's hitting me different.
Is that why you're yelling?
I'm yelling. I'm sweaty. I'm also fired up. We had a great team call. So those that don't know, we do team calls almost every day. But, with everything going on in the landscape of CrossFit, Fern gave us a battle cry, I think. Was that what you would call it, Katie? Was it a battle cry?
Sure.
I was following his lead. I was running behind him. I joke about Fern. I got your back, Fern. Whatever you say to do sometimes, I'm like, I don't agree. We had that awkward moment on the call.
It was awkward for you. It wasn't awkward for me.
I wasn't awkward. Katie made it awkward. I was being quiet.
Katie wasn't sure if she should laugh or not. So I'll give everybody context. Jay, as he typically does, is just like, I got an idea that we'll just throw that will absolutely screw up everything that we're going to do. Like that was the scenario. And I was like, hey, we were kind of going back and forth. And then I was finally like, I'm just going to make the call. We're not doing that. And then everybody just went silent. And Katie couldn't figure out if it was appropriate to laugh or not.
Well,
No,
I
no, no.
thought Jay was gonna respond, and because you usually like you wait a second and then you say something, but you didn't respond at all, and I was like, should we move on, or is this is this
I'm gonna
decided?
say something. I'm gonna tell you guys all a little peek behind the curtain. I say that too much lately. I'm gonna stop saying that.
Bet you
But
won't.
I've been
Bet you won't. Stop saying it. You're going to keep saying it.
Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. Get yourself a copy if you don't already have it. Fern, I'm gonna buy you a copy. You need it.
I started
Katie,
reading the Daily Stoic again.
Daily Stoic's great. I think I'll be honest. First of all, I'm pissed at Ryan Holiday because when we were in Austin, he never got back to me. So I kind of boycotted it. I do
I
read
did.
it every day.
I did sign his book though. I went to that bookstore and signed one of his books.
I still read it. Like I read the Daily Stoic first thing in the morning. I'm pooping. I pull up my Kindle. I read the Daily Stoic, and I also read. Robert Greene has a similar book. Robert Greene wrote things like Mastery, The 48 Rules of Power, those types. He has a very similar daily one. So I do read those in the morning. But here's what I think. And if Ryan Holiday, if you're listening, this is on you because you could have been on the podcast. So sorry about to get canceled. But it's like reading fluff rather than reading the real deal. Like the Daily Stoic is like trying to chase vitality when you should just be doing fucking CrossFit, right? And that's what this is
Health.
about. Like, what's health? Yeah.
Health.
Read the real deal. Like, go back. Like, why are you reading somebody's modern take on it when, like, the real deal? I'm holding it up here. This is the copy you guys should get if you're watching the video. It's the Gregory Hayes translation of Marcus Aurelius' meditation. You're reading like the foo-foo thing if you read the Daily Stoic. I think it's kind of like an onboarding. Cool. That's ultimately has to get you to this. Point is, I am trying to be a good team player in 2022. I've said this to Fern. I've said it off air. I'll say it on air. I think it's the caffeine speaking right now. But, we are definitely a team effort. We are a yin to each other's yang. And when Fern says something that I can tell he's passionate and cares about, there's, as a team player, you got to be like, okay, cool. There you go, Katie. That was it. That was why it was awkward.
Follow me to victory.
When there's one set of footprints, I was Fern. I was on his back like Yoda. I disagree, though.
Like,
to be clear, I disagree. I think that's the point.
Oh, I know you disagree.
But I mean, I think that's the bigger point. Like, we don't agree, but I was just like silent. Like, cool. Fern has spoken. This is the way.
We're changing that saying from when there's just one set of footprints. We need to have somebody make this graphic. There's a set of footprints, and then there's just a big other line where we're just dragging the other person through the sand.
When there was two lines following you, that was when I was dragging your lazy ass.
But yeah, and I think this is an appropriate time to have this conversation. Also, because I mean, if we're just going to talk about the elephant in the room, people are like, should I do something about the firing of Dave Castro?
Yeah, you should sit on your fucking hand and wait.
You should do nothing. And if you disagree with it, great, good for you. I disagree with it, and whatever. It's not going to affect how I do anything at my affiliate, and I'm definitely not going to do anything drastic. I'm going to refine the things that we do. Some of them we do poorly. Some of the things we do really well. It doesn't mean it can't be refined. But our goal was refine what we do and then add something to the tune of 10%, 10 to 15% on top of that. New things.
Here's
no more.
You made me think of something as you were saying that. And I think this is the problem. Box owners are seeking out someone or something to blame. Oh, well, home office.
Fair.
Greg Glassman never supported us. Rosa fired Castro. So this and that. None of that impacts you if you're doing it right. Hey, Fern, how'd Rife do when Glassman got bought out?
Great.
How'd Rife do when Castro got fired?
I don't even think anybody knows.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the exact point. When you're head down and doing the right things for your community, even what home office is doing doesn't impact you. So all you people that are still like, this is why I de-affiliated and blah, 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 you're doing CrossFit. So pay your $3,000 and shut up because you should be doing that. And then just do the work and it doesn't really matter. Now, yes, if crazy shit is happening at home office, it could potentially impact you. But even then, it probably won't. If you're doing 99, what percentage of your community, and let me say, Rife is a unique scenario where 3 of the coaches there, Fern included, like they know are part of seminar staff. So people know that. So now you have a little bit and they're probably like, Fern, what's going on? Did you know did you fire Castro? Right. So what
I was like, you
what
clearly don't know
percentage
what
of
I do for the company. Yeah.
what percentage of your members know or care?
Is that a question for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't know that it's been brought up to me at all.
Yeah.
Outside of the immediate circles, and that's like you have already addressed. That is quite literally because we are in the machine. We like be on this call. Like we have to listen to this. What is the deal? Like what's going on? Outside of
But
that,
I think
it's a non-issue. I mean, it's Instagram news, but nobody walked into the gym and was just like, "Are you guys going to be okay?"
yeah, go back, Katie. Is the one that we recorded the other day up prior to this one
Which
that
No,
we
I think
talked
that'll
about
be-
the Castro scenario?
No, I think that on Friday.
Hey, Katie, are you on this?
yeah, I do not know what you're talking about.
I think
The
we
episode that
recorded it.
Fern and I recorded.
She wasn't on it. Remember, she was
Right,
So
but
I
I
didn't
sent it
know.
to Katie.
Yeah.
I sent it to her.
Uh-oh.
I
Everybody's
Hey.
getting to witness a live breakdown of the team right now.
What is happening right now? I don't understand. Katie,
Yeah.
I
is this
understand what you're
episode
saying.
going up
I
after
understand.
that?
I understand what you're saying, but if you emailed it to me, if you remember on the call we just had, my email was not set up until this morning. So if you emailed it to me, I didn't get it. So I do not know what
So
you're
let's
talking
put
about.
it in that order. Go back and listen
Yeah.
to our stance on what happened to Castro.
Yeah.
And then listen to this. I was pulling up something. I can't freaking. Oh, here it is. I don't want to say the person's name. I put up a post on Facebook. I like this person, but it was just an example of like I sent it to you, Fern. Like just people kind of complaining about home office and like the way things are. Like they forget it's like this is a multi-million-dollar business. Like there are things that are happening that Fern, like we don't even understand. Like we've never run a business with that many moving parts, that many people, HR, like diversity day, all those things happening. Like, and I think people just like jump to it and it's like, hey, if you just were focused on you and your community, your box would be doing a whole lot better.
Which goes back to the whole point, which was you don't need to make drastic changes. What is the 1 to 2 things that you could make modest course corrections on that would put you on target? You're like, what should I do? You should do those 2 things. That's it. They're like, what else? Nothing. Yeah, but I've got these other things. No, don't do them. Right? Again, go back to the thing about training. Well, should I do this program and this program and this program? No, you should show up consistently 4 times a week, and you should make sure that you have appropriate range of motion at all joints and that you know how to move well. What about this other? Nope. What about this other? There will be a time and a place for that. Right now, the answer is no.
Okay, don't stop, Katie. That's typically where you would have stopped, right? You were going to stop? Yeah. I got a lot of problems with you people, and I want to address them right now. So if you go to our Instagram,
is that Katie and I? Who are we talking to?
You yes,
Katie.
Utes. The Utes. If you go to our Instagram the other day, there's an image that says things I did wrong as a box owner, according to Jason Ackerman. Remember you made that, Katie? Katie, you have to talk. You have to talk to them.
I mute my microphone when I'm not talking. And it takes me a second. Hang on, I'm pulling it up.
All right. Well, I just wanted to rebut. I want to take a moment and rebut those 12 things. All right?
All 12?
All 12. Okay,
You
cool.
said them all, though. You said, Katie, keep track of these things and note it as things I did wrong as an affiliate owner.
Yeah, I want to rebut in the sense that I'm going to like make an excuse for each one, okay?
Okay.
All right. Never once went to the 5:45 a.m. class. I was up every night till like 2 a.m. back in the day, uploading pictures. Before there was an iPhone, before there was social media, I had a point and shoot camera that I was plugging in the freaking disc. Before I even had an Apple computer to TypePad, you could only do 12 at a time back then, by the way. So I had to do 12, upload, next 12, upload, next 12. I was up late, gave discounts, but no one told me any differently. So people were asking for discounts, so I gave discounts. I needed members. So Rarely, if ever, complimented staff. They were turds, most of the staff. They didn't deserve compliments. Scaling was optional, if not unheard of. Yeah, people are being babies. Freaking throw 95 on the bar, dude. Get your chest to hit the bar. One time, I think did I talk about in the episode where I yelled at everybody for not hitting their chest to the bar and clicking the RX button?
You didn't talk about, I don't think, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't click the RX button because there wasn't an RX button back then, but they were claiming they did an RX. No screening process for coaches. Yeah, take your level 1. Come coach for me. Allowed some coaches to work for free, and I would do that again. Katie, by the way, you're going to start working for free starting today. All trainers were allowed to keep 100% of what they earned doing. You know what? I got a message from Helen after reading this post. I think she actually commented on this post. Was this on this scroll? Let me see the comments, Katie. See if there's one from Helen. No. What are you doing? No. Go back to the post. But yeah, if you look in the comments. Oh, Jesus. This is why you're working for free now. Keep going. There's one from Renee, yeah. There it is. Thanks, Coach Ackerman, for letting me do personal training at Albany CrossFit without taking a cut. It helped me get started, and I still have one of those clients today. There you go. That's all you need to know. Didn't take a class, would host a bro sesh after the noon class every day. Yeah, I was too good for class. I think we all can agree on that. Intense onboarding sessions, teaching the 9 foundational movements. Man, if you took that onboarding, the 12 session one, you were basically a level 4 coach. So It was worth it. Making up business titles and placing them on others. Yeah, I wanted them to feel special, even though they weren't. Mandated themed parties every month. I think we did a game night party. That was fun. In theory, wanted people to offer their own great ideas, but in reality, wanted yes men. To this day,
he still wants that.
To this day, I want that.
Yeah.
And I got the wrong freaking team behind me. Anyway, so it turns out I want you to take that post down and write things I did right as a box owner.
I'll do it. I'll make a.
Yeah, we still haven't figured out what those are. Yeah, yeah. It'll just be an empty graphic. Anyway, Fern, I'll let you wrap it up. How about you wrap it up, Fern? Here's what I would like. Fern. I'd like you to remember the quote right now and say it with enthusiasm and vigor, and say it whamadine. Ooh, with vitality or with health? Yeah, listen, it's the beginning of the year. It's January. If you haven't planned out your year, you should be reevaluating how you deal with your staff, how you build your affiliate, all of those things. And at the end of the day, small changes done consistently over time will yield massive results. You do not need to make drastic changes within your affiliate. They will fall apart and you'll regret it. Just do the simple things really, really, really well. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.